special day. We are watching here the U.S. President in Sharm el-Sheikh that he attended the summit earlier few minutes ago, or just 1 hour ago. He was joined by Jordanian King Abdullah II, and he is receiving the Arab leaders and world leaders and talking to them ahead of taking this group photo for the world leaders who are participating. We are watching Emir of Bahrain taking a photo with U.S. President Donald Trump.
Yes, it represents the friendliness of this and the positive, of course, atmosphere, or what we're seeing is that everyone is happy, inshallah, with what's been completed, inshallah, and we're seeing the light as we are seeing.
Indeed, it's a historical day, Ms. Haneen. You as a Palestinian woman, and you have seen the suffering of the Palestinian people for the past 2 years in particular. What's your dream here after this historical summit is taking place with the participation of world leaders? What are your hopes and demands from world leaders regarding Palestine?
For the next generations not to witness what we've witnessed. Until now, the echoes of the bombardment and the firing and the shooting still echoes in my ears, years and years after leaving Palestine, forcefully, of course. I don't want my children to relive this. I don't want the new generation to relive this. We're speaking of children at very young age, and speaking as
yes, and sorry for the interruption again. We are watching here U.S. President Donald Trump taking a photo with French President Emmanuel Macron ahead of the start of the summit for peace in Gaza. Indeed, a very important moment to remember. Hope we see a new dawn for peace in the Middle East and in the Palestinian territories and in Gaza in particular. The U.S. President is receiving the world leaders who are attending the Gaza Peace Summit in Sharm el-Sheikh, the city of peace. From the city of peace, we are signing the agreement for a new peace treaty with the Indonesian president. Now the U.S. president is taking a photo to remember this very special moment. And U.S. President Donald Trump is with the Qatari Emir Tamim bin Hamad. Qatar did play a very important role along with Egypt and the United States as mediators between the Israelis and Hamas to end 2 years of war. It has been a long journey of mediating, but it was fulfilled with this very important and historic agreement, and the agreement between the Palestinians and Israelis after the proposal. And U.S. President Donald Trump is having a photo with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan before starting the summit in Sharm el-Sheikh. The world leaders were keen to participate and play an important role in the rebuilding of the Gaza Strip after its destruction, after 2 years of genocide war on the Gaza Strip by the Israeli side. And here comes the proposal of U.S. President Donald Trump to end the war, which was approved from the Israelis and from Hamas with the mediation of Egypt, Qatar, and of course the United States. And back to Ms. Haneen, and sorry for interrupting your talks here, because we are witnessing a very important moment for the peace in the Middle East.
Unprecedented. Yes, yes, of course. Everyone will remember it, of course.
Yes. Ms. Haneen, back to your expectations from the world leaders regarding the reconstruction of the Strip. And we have seen in the joint press conference between President Sisi and U.S. President Donald Trump that President Sisi was keen to invite the U.S. President to attend the conference which will be taking place for the reconstruction of the Gaza Strip. How do you see the importance of such a conference, and for the collective contribution by the world powers and the world leaders to help in the reconstruction of the Strip, which was completely or 80% destroyed as the Gazans were returning to the north and found almost 80% of the Strip destroyed?
Absolutely. It only shows that this is not just individual work. Of course, the leadership was under the Egyptian efforts, but it shows that the whole world is agreeing on this. The whole world wants peace, and this is the first step towards it. Of course, the reconstruction is a very, it's a mega project actually, in terms of expenses and in terms of implementation on the ground and in terms of materials that are required. This is in terms of materialistic stuff. On the other hand, the rebuilding of people, the regaining of their humanity, feeling again that they are normal people who can live and obtain their food and practicing life as a normal human being. So the promises these leaders should make to all of us actually, as human beings, as the international community as one, that such aggression is not to be repeated, not just on Palestine but on any other country, because this is inhuman. We are speaking of advancement, we are speaking of unity, but again, what we are seeing on the ground is something else.
Yes,
so accountability should be present on whoever does aggression or whoever attacks someone who shouldn't. The recognition of Palestine as a state puts it in a much stronger position for the legal aspects of what needs to be done. Mr. Trump has started with speaking of the sanctions. He wants to reduce the impact or reduce the harshness that the international community is imposing. But again, this is only normal, or this is only natural to the amount of aggression that has been exerted by the Israeli side.
Yes.
So we trust the leadership, of course. The people have spoken over the past 2 years that this is unjust.
And we are, I'm sorry for your interruption here again, but U.S. President Donald Trump is having a photo with Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, who was keen to participate at the Summit for Peace in the Gaza Strip. Of course, as we have been talking, Ms. Haneen, the keenness of the European leaders and many world leaders to participate in such a summit, and their keenness to mention here that they will contribute in the reconstruction of the Gaza Strip. How did you take this? How do you see it?
The plan or the thinking, the vision has been implemented on the ground. We are seeing it now. We're seeing it with how the leaders are acting on a very casual basis, taking selfies here and there. Everyone is happy. I think the social media will be filled with too many photos now, and everyone is analyzing everything from looks, from body language, from everything. It's very positive, of course, and it's again reassurance that what Egypt has promised, Egypt has gained or attained, actually. We do not deny the role of the other mediators, of course, and how wise Qatar was, especially after the attack on their land, the other Arab countries. Of course, Yemen has been a target, Tunisia was a target, Lebanon was a target, Syria was a target. So for all of this community to actually come in unity to hopefully reach the peace agreement that we are witnessing, this is again shows the importance and the significance of the Egyptian role, not just in the region but internationally as well. Because who of those leaders had actually managed to get Mr. Macron to come and visit and see the injured at the Rafah border.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Concerning the Rafah border crossing, we have, yes, I do believe we have lost contact with Ms. Haneen Abu Shanab. Ms. Haneen Abu Shanab, the member of the Association of Palestinian Women. It was a real pleasure to listen to her precious input. Indeed, a very important day for peace. We are watching live from Sharm el-Sheikh, U.S. President Donald Trump having photos with world leaders who are participating at the Summit for Peace in the Gaza Strip. And ahead of the start of the summit, we watched the President of the United States having a press conference with President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, where both leaders thanked, of course, each other for their contributions, and President Trump thanked President el-Sisi for the great efforts that he did exert to end the war in the Gaza Strip. And we are watching the British Prime Minister Keir Starmer having a photo with U.S. President Donald Trump in this very special day for peace in the Middle East, a new dawn for the Middle East peace, as it was mentioned and it was said by the U.S. President during his speech at the Israeli Knesset. Also earlier today, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi said that he is going to give the order of the Nile to U.S. President Donald Trump for the recognition of his role in achieving peace in the Middle East and ending the war in the Gaza Strip. Great day for peace from the city of peace, Sharm el-Sheikh. And indeed, in this very special day, the U.S. President is keen to take photos with world leaders participating at the Peace Summit in Sharm el-Sheikh to remember this very important dawn for peace in the Middle East region. The U.S. President Donald Trump is taking a photo with UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, who is attending the Peace Summit in Sharm el-Sheikh. And the Arab League Secretary General Ahmed Abul Ghait is taking a photo with U.S. President Donald Trump. dawn for peace in the Middle East region from the city of peace, Sharm el-Sheikh. And U.S. President Donald Trump is continuing to take photos with the participating world leaders in Sharm el-Sheikh ahead of the start of the summit. Many world leaders, more than 20 world leaders and heads of international organizations are participating in the Gaza Summit for Peace. Indeed, a very important moment for the region, as the U.S. President, in his speech before the Israeli Knesset, praises the Arab and Muslim nations for their commitment to rebuild Gaza. The U.S. President said that he will be heading to Egypt, and indeed here he is to participate in the summit with the participation of the world leaders, and he said that everyone is showing that peace can be real, and that he is intending to be part of the reconstruction and rebuilding of the Gaza Strip. The president said that the era of horrifying and killing is over, and a new dawn for peace in the Middle East is starting today. The president said that we are celebrating the return of hostages and achieving peace in the region. And we are seeing the U.S. President taking a photo with former British Prime Minister Tony Blair, who was a member of the talks in the United States for the Gaza Strip after the end of the war. And the photo now with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, who is participating in the Summit for Peace in Sharm el-Sheikh. And Mahmoud Abbas, the President of Palestine, is talking to the U.S. President, Mr. Donald Trump, who was keen on ending the war in the Strip and starting a new era for peace in the Middle East region. Earlier today, we witnessed the return of hostages and detainees as part of the Trump plan for ending the war in Gaza. The first phase of The plan was implemented by the start of a ceasefire, the withdrawal of the Israeli troops to the Yellow Line, and the exchange of hostages and detainees. And we have seen the release of 20 hostages that they were back to Israel earlier today. Now we are watching Mr. President of the United States, Donald Trump, taking a photo, a group photo with all the world leaders participating at the Gaza Summit for Peace, co-chaired by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and U.S. President Donald Trump. The world leaders were keen to come and participate at this very important Peace Summit taking place in the city of Peace, Sharm el-Sheikh. And U.S. President Donald Trump taking group photo with world leaders attending the Gaza Peace Summit in the city of Peace, Sharm el-Sheikh. And that was President Sisi and U.S. President Donald Trump taking a memorial group photo with world leaders participating at the Sharm el-Sheikh Summit for Peace 2025, a very important day, an historical day for the Middle East region and peace in the Gaza Strip.
الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي على جهوده لشعب غزة.
I stand before you today beneath the emblem of the United Nations to confirm the historic decision of the British government to recognize the state of Palestine.